Okay, so I wanted to do a quick video on how to set up a recording project, how I start a recording project in Reaper. This is Reaper. The first thing I do is go into File and Project Settings. So we're going to be playing to the grid and recording to the grid, and this is the grid, the time selection, the timeline up here. And so we're going to, in this particular song, we'll say it's going to be 120 beats a minute. We're going to leave it there. It's going to 4/4 time. Down here, project start measure. I always use -1 because I like to leave 2 measures before the song starts. In the song, I like to start on 1. So up here, if you look across the top here, you have -1, and then you have 0, first beat of 0, and then right here is where the song should start. I set up a new track because what I want to do is put in what's called a click source right here. Boom. And just show you. So this is the click. It's the loudest on the first note of each beat, and then a little softer for the 2, 3, 4. I'm going to loop it for you here, and by doing a time selection like that, doing that time selection, grabbing across the top, and then going down to this button here and putting the loop on, it should be green is on. When you hit play, you're going to see that it's clicking, and we can hear the track just fine. And that's a click track, and many people play to a click track. You can extend this out for as long as the song goes. Other people like to play to something else. I sometimes will play to a cowbell rather than the click. So I'm just going to put the cowbell here on this track. So we're going to pick this click track. We're going to insert a media file. Pick the cowbell. Okay, there it is. And so as we zoom in here, we just put this cowbell here on the 1 of 1. And so these are our two beat count in. So I'm going to actually move this back to the beginning. And we're going to do a count in. I'm sorry, just zooming in here a little bit. We're going to do count in with this cowbell. So we're going to do 1. I like to do 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like count in like that. So I'm going to do it just like this. All right, so here I'm going to loop this, and this is going to be our count in. So it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, and then we're in, and then the song starts. For this, I'm going to right-click on this, see how it's selected these first 2 measures. All right, I'm going to right-click and go down to right-click glue items within time selection. Not glue items, but glue items within time selection. That's what we selected up here. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a full length to the end here. So we have this little piece that we can move around, and that's our count in. So that's again 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the band kicks in. So that's our click. And like I said, we can continue this click through the whole thing if we want to. Have it going for the rest of the song. We can just take this 4 beats right here. I'm going to hit S and split and copy that. Zoom out again so you can see. Just go boom, boom, boom. And I'm just doing copy, paste, Control V. And you can just do this for as long as you need to. I usually copy this like this. Control and... Alright, so what I'm doing is copying a larger section. I'm going to right click and highlight all this. Then I'm going to Control C for copy, and then Control V for paste. And we can just go crazy here. In this case, that should be more than enough for the song that we're going to do today. So we do have, this gives us a click track through the whole song to play to. Just wanted to loop this one section. You could just turn that on and it'll just keep looping all day. But we're going to shut that off, and we have this whole thing goes the whole length of the song. The next thing we would normally do is add a drum beat. Some people like to play the drum beat, so I'm going to do that next. So right here, I'm going to put in some drums. Let's say we were going to record some drums. I'm going to make this a kick. This a snare, and this a hi-hat. And I have mine automatically color. I use SWS auto color, and I pick the colors I want. So the first thing I want to do is maybe add the hi-hat. And insert a hi-hat from our media file. I just happen to have some samples here that I set up for this. But you can record a drummer, or you can put in your own hi-hats. And this is, I don't need this long tail, so I'm just going to make it a little smaller. That's probably pretty good. We're going to start the hi-hat as of bar 1 when the song actually comes in. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to zip it out right now, and there's bar 1, our start of our song. So that everything over here is a counting. And so watch this. I'm going to do this, I highlighted this section. I'm going to right click up here and I'm going to choose create region. And this creates a little region up here, and I'm right click on that, put edit region. I'm going to call that intro. And we, not intro, we're going to call that count in. I'm sorry, count in. We have 2-bar count in, and we'll set the color to white. And so there it is. There's our count in up there. Right? Okay. And it names it and it labels it. So now we know that's our count in. Now I'm going to go into the first measure here. Do a 1-bar section right here just to set up a loop. Hi-hats are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are on the beats. First measure, first beat, first measure, second beat, first measure, third beat, and fourth beat. Hi-hats usually play, in this case, we're going to do 8th notes. See how I have this time selection done? I'm going to put on the loop again. I'm going to come to the beginning. I'm going to hit loop here, hit play. And I'm going to mute. We don't need that. So once we, if we're playing to it, we have our hi-hats here and it's looping. But I like 8th notes, so I'm going to copy and paste a few more in here, and it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's at a tempo of 120 beats a minute. Okay, now we're going to add a kick. Insert media right. Try to move along quickly with this one. Again, this is our kick. We don't need it that much length tail on it. Just a little kick here. It's enough, and then it'll fade out. I think we'll take a little bit more off. Okay, so this is our kick. The kicks usually come in on 1 and 3, standard, but you can, all kinds of variations on that. I like to do and 3. And now on 2 and 4, we're going to have our snare come in, doing the backbeat. And there's our snare right there. And again, you can just record drums, a drummer or whatever. I'm just using this. So we have one there, and we're going to put another one right here on 4. So we have all the drums. We have all this highlighted. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to glue all these within the time selection so they're full pieces that we can move around and they don't get out of order. Same thing here. Okay, so here's our little loop that we just created. We did the time selection. Let's get back to the beginning here and go. And that's it. Good. And so once we've recorded, we don't need our little metronome up here anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that because I do want the count in part, but I don't need the rest of it. Sorry, just going to stop right here. Just want to get to that beginning right here. So that's where we're going to cut it. Split. And we're going to get rid of all this. So once, like I said, the band comes in or the music comes in, we don't need that cowbell in our ear anymore. And so that's kind of why I do it separately like that. So here it is. It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody starts in. Band's playing. So that's our loop. Once we have this, we can loop this out, set it to loop. So you right click on it, up to item settings, and then you hit loop item source. And you can carry those out as long as you want. So I'm going to grab these. Okay, now they're all looped, see? And now we're going to carry this out. The song we're going to play with today has 96 bars. And so we're going to have to, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can get a little faster here. I'm going to cook all the way out to 96. Okay, we're past 96, right around there. It's good. What I wanted to show you was the song structure we're going to work on today. So we're just going to do a quick intro, 4 bars, verse 1, 16, chorus 8, verse 2, another chorus, into the solo, bridge, a couple choruses, and then out. And that's pretty standard song structure format, but this total of 96 bars, and that's where I came up with 96 bars, because when we did our song, this is how long it is. So what I did was, just so you know, I highlighted, I went to 96 right here. I chopped them off at 96 because that's how many we need. And then I right clicked on all of them and I went glue items, and that got rid of those little loop points, and just these are full items that you can move around now. That's what I was getting at. Let me zip out a little bit more and get to the beginning. So we can take these items and move them around. And so we're going to get back to the beginning here and put them back where they belong. We don't need to loop anything anymore, so we're going to shut off our loop. We have our drums. So essentially what we've done so far is we created a click track. We played drums over the click track, or in this case I set up drum loops. We got rid of the click track. We don't need it anymore, and it's much more fun to play to drums and than it is to play to a click track and trying to get everything. But I did want to show you quickly about how to get these regions going. So you have the count up there. Like I said, going back to our main full screen here, you see that we had song structure. We have an intro, a 4-bar intro, then a verse, 16, and 8. So let's just start with that real quick. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So what we do is we take a section up here and we draw left click. And what we're moving is this time selection. And we said 4 bars for the first one. If you look at the length, that's 3, 4 bars right there. We're going to right click here and hit create region. Right click on that. We're going to edit the region. We're going to call this intro. I like to run all of mine through the rainbow. So I'm going to start with red. And we have intro and hit OK for 4 bars. And now we have this intro section. If you know, this section's our intro, the one we're going to be playing over it. And then the next change is going to be our verse. We're going to do I think we said 16 bar verse. So let's get back to 16. You can see on the bottom right there, 16. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to right click up here, create region, right click here, edit region. And we're going to call this verse 1. And we're going to call our next color in the rainbow. I'll do that. And 16, the length is 16 measures. And so now we have our count in, we have our intro, and then we have verse 1. And then I'm going to do one more here for you. And this is going to be, I think we said we were going to do an 8-bar chorus. All right. And again, right click, create, right click, right click, edit. And I'm just going to call this chorus. Now, after that, it's pretty easy to just keep going here. So we're going to grab our verse. Now verse 2 is next. So we're going to hold down our control key, grab this and bring it over here. And that's verse 2. And then we're going to grab a chorus and bring it over here. And then I think the next thing we had, let's see, next thing we had is a solo, a 16-bar solo. It's over a verse. So I'm going to grab another one of these and I'll show you what I did again. So I'm going to grab, I grabbed another one of these. I'm going to get rid of it. So again, hold down the control, grab this, pull it over here. And so this is going to be, we're going to right click on this and edit this region. And this is going to be verse 2. And we're going to set a color for verse 2. I'm going to make it green. Okay, and then another chorus. And then this is going to be our solo. Edit region, solo. And we know this is 16 also. We'll set a color for our solo. And so on. And then, you know, maybe after the solo, we're going to go into the bridge. I think I just going back to this again. Then we're going to hit the bridge for an 8, and then chorus, and outro. And that's essentially how I do it. So again, we would put a bridge here. We'd right click here. Let's try. What did we say the bridge was? Bridge is 8 bars, just like the chorus. So I'm going to grab a chorus, control, and then I'm going to grab another chorus, and then another chorus. Sorry, I can't see into my camera. And then the intro is 4 bars. So again, we're going to just starting from here, we verse, chorus, solo, into the bridge. I'm going to edit that. I'm going to call this bridge. Try to move a little quicker here, just so it's not a super long video. That's bridge. Okay. And then right here, we have a couple choruses. And then finally, right here, edit. We have an outro instead of intro, and that's 4-bar outro. And we can leave the color the same. Okay. So I think that's everything. Is that our 96? No, we have a lot more there. So I must have done something wrong, but it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe a couple more choruses and verses. Either way, that's our song. Oh, you haven't seen this again. I keep forgetting to switch back and forth to show you what I'm doing. But what I did was continue this and continue to create this bridge, chorus, outro. So we have our song here. We have our drums to go along with it, and then we can just come in and start recording. I'm going to hold down control and make this a little smaller, and then I'm going to add something here. Let's see, we're going to call this a bass. Okay, and add a guitar here. And these, like I said, these are set up to color automatically through SWS auto colors. And then that's it. So here we are. We go down to bass if we want to record our bass. We have the count in for ourselves. And I have my bass, and we'll try playing a little bit along with the drums that we just created. And let's see what we can do here. I've turned on the bass, got a signal, recording, back to the beginning, getting a signal, good. And I'll hit record. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go, we're playing our intro. Bang. Now, the first verse to play. Something like that. Whatever, you get the idea. We're not going to do the whole song, but you see, so now we have our bass going here. We shut that off, and that's happening. We'll bring up our pull this off to the side of the. Good. Okay. And so we're going to go back. We'll put that away back to the screen now. So there you go. We did, we're recording. We have our song. At this point, we're just tracking. We have our song across the top. I'm clipping a little bit. Doesn't matter. We have our song across the top, our template, following our template. We're laying in our different tracks as we go. And essentially, like, let's see, as a guitar, let's see what we can do with that. Another thing we can do is put the chords up here, which is really cool on markers. Okay, for me it's Shift M because I use my M to bring up my mixers. Okay, so you can go right here and add a marker, and just M would do it, but I have mine set to something else, to Shift M, so I'm going to do it right here, and it brings up a marker. And we can say, okay, that's a G right here at this position. And then see how it puts it right there? It's actually an A, but whatever. I can right-click on it, edit it. Okay, we're going to be playing a song in A, and then we get to here, we're going to be playing another A. Insert a marker. You can right click there and insert a marker that way too. And then when you, like, if I listen for a minute, say, wait, when's it go to the D? I'm not sure when it goes to D. There it is. So right here is when it goes to the D. So if you're dealing with somebody who doesn't know the song and they're trying to play along, you can really get them going here. Just so they can watch when the chord changes come about. So let's try that. I'm going to just try recording one more guitar track. Got it? Oh, you get the idea. So that's it. That's it. I think that's a long enough video, and it's fun to do. And have a good one.